And actually, I felt really good about this script yesterday when I talked to those people.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
The script went fine. I felt very confident with it. The people just aren't ready yet.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't think you can really convince somebody to do something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, okay, but what was the reason why they didn't want to do it? Do you know that?
Okay. Yep, I'll get it. I'll tell you here just a second. Now, what is? Hold on. Now I'll send it to you later. I've got it up. I got it on my computer too.
Yeah, ain't no big deal. Just whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started out. I started out with the agenda, and they were fine with that. That actually brought their defenses way down. I mean, that agenda is very disarming.
Yeah, it is.
He said. He texted me and said, "When can we discuss?" Audrey Douglas referred me to you. He thought you might have some other opportunities, and but then when I called him, I texted him back, and he didn't answer, and so I called him right away, and he said, "Hey, can you wait till the 1 o'clock hour or so? My wife will be here." And I said, "Yeah, that's perfect. Actually, I want you both there anyway. I was gonna ask you if she was gonna be there." And so I called him at 1:30, and I went through the agenda. They were fine with it. They answered all my questions except one. And that was later on. They owe 286. He wants 330 for the house. He thinks it's worth 340. And so he's basically at 95% LTV.
Okay.
And I asked why they were. I said, "Hey, it sounds like it. I've seen it online. It looks like a beautiful house. Why are you selling that house?" And they said, we found our dream home in Fort Scott, Kansas. And I said, "So it's not like a job transfer?" And he said, "No, I actually work out of my house anyway. I'm an IT guy, and I work out of my house." He works for the Diamond Nut Company. They sell the nuts in a bag. He's one of their main IT guys, and so he said, "I really work out of my house. I can live anywhere." And we found a beautiful house that we just fell in love with in Fort Scott, Kansas. And I said, "Oh, okay. So you just wanted to move." And I said, "You've already moved, and this house is vacant." And he said, "Yeah, the house is vacant." So Audrey had already given me a little bit of inside baseball, and she said he said to her, "In 2 months, I'm screwed." So in 2 months, he's going to have 2 payments and be screwed. He must have worked out a deal. He did an owner finance down in Fort Scott.
Yeah. Okay.
So he knows how it works.
Yeah.
So I went through the whole thing. I said, "So if you wouldn't want to sell it today, would you?"
Yeah.
They said, "Well, we don't know anything about we don't know what you're offering." I said, "Yeah, I understand. So
yeah.
And I said, if I were to be able to put something together that was comfortable for you, you wouldn't want to sell today, would you?" And he said, "Well, yeah, maybe, if it's comfortable for us." But he was still thinking in the direction of cash purchase,
Yeah.
And then I got down to the bottom here, which is I never got to the closing. Yeah, I did. I got to the closing. Let's see here. And then I kind of explained, I said, honestly, and it was a lot smoother than what I'm doing right now, but
it's okay.
Anyway, I said,
it's okay.
Honestly, as a real estate investor, I'm in the business to make a profit, and unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to give you your asking price right now and be able to make a profit, but there's a way that I can get you your asking price. And anyway, I went through the whole thing and said to him that I can get you your asking price if you'd be willing to lease it to me for 24 to 36 months.
Yeah.
And at that time, get you your full asking price. And he said, "That sounds like kind of a desperation move." And he said, "I don't consider us being desperate." But he's only got 2 months left.
What does that sound like a desperation move? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, that's what he's, yeah. And I said, "Listen, we don't look at that as a desperation move at all. We approach these looking at how we can help you. And with your LTV so high, your loan to value so high on the house, I mean, it's not something that, I said earlier on in the conversation, I said, hey, have you done any major remodeling to your kitchens, or your kitchen, or any of your bathrooms? And he said, no, we haven't really. And I said, so what have you done to the house? They lived there for 3 years. We did get into that. I followed the script and all that. And he told me we've been there for 3 years. And, but then, and he knows it needs upgrading. There's a lot of things in there that are old and beat up by 6 kids. They've got 6 kids.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I told him the same thing. I said, we don't look at that as a desperation offer at all. We just look at it as a different offer that can help you right now.
Right.
And we don't get emotionally involved with them. We're just looking at the numbers. And when you have high loan to value, you're not going to get a cash offer, especially on a house that needs some TLC and needs some updating and rehab. And so we look at that as a way that we can structure something that would be a benefit and a win-win for both of us. And he said, well, I don't know. I guess you could look at it that way, but we're not desperate enough to be going to go that direction yet. And I said, okay, well, how about this? How about if I give you a call in a month? And okay. Then right after that, but I'm going to call him in a week, because right after that I called him back and I said, hey, you may have some more questions, and I do have a customer information packet that I can send over to you, which it tells how the program works. It's going to answer a lot more of your questions, and I wanted to get your email. So he gave me his email and I sent him that. I'm just going to call him in a day or two here and just say, I wanted to make sure you got my email and see if you had any other questions,
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that ended. It's kind of like I kind of felt like I didn't want to cut it off too short, but I also didn't want to, like Claude says, you don't want to get jerked around with people that aren't going to do business with you anyway. Either do it now or don't do it.
I agree. 100%, man. I want to encourage you to not go into explainer mode though, ever. I don't know that you did, but you might have.
Okay.
That's the temptation. And I would have handled that when he said something like that. I would have just simply said, I might have laughed a little bit, chuckled, and then said, hey, well, what about my offer makes you feel like that's a desperation thing? And then I would have just stopped right there, let him tell me. Okay, so basically what you're saying is you're just not interested in a lease right now, where you think you can get all this cash from somebody else. Okay. So basically what you're doing is you're telling me no. See, I'm doing nothing but asking questions.
Right. Okay.
I never get into explainer mode, because it's not really, a guy with low motivation or mediocre motivation. I'm probably not going to be able to pitch him the feature function benefits so well that he slides up to 10 and he's like, yeah, let's do it.
Right.
He's really going to have to sell himself. And he's going to do that by me asking questions like, why is it a desperation move? Oh, okay. It's a desperation move because you feel like you can get the cash. Okay. Well, are you planning on putting it on the market? How do you think you'll get the cash? Okay. I would love to give you the cash, but I can't give you the cash today. I could give you the cash in 24 months. Why is that an unreasonable request? Is that desperate on my side, or is that desperate on yours?
Right.
I just continue to kind of pick at it a little bit until he starts to dismantle it himself.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Very good point.
You may or may not have been able to close him anyway, but that's what I
look at. That makes sense. And back when I used to make 500-600 calls a week, I was really good at that. And I taught my people, ask it. You're asking the questions, you're controlling the conversation. If they ask you one, give them a very short answer and then ask them another question. I always did that. Thousands of times I did that. But I'm a little, being in the mortgage business now, we're just order takers. We don't sell a thing.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm a little bit out of practice, but you're exactly right. I appreciate that.
Well, let's practice some more. I don't know what your calendar's like for this week. I'm pretty open, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Why don't you hop on my calendar for sometime later this week and let's
Okay.
role play.
Okay. Yeah, man. I like
And I
that.
say that because I'm running out of time for today.